Nakatitrate po yan. Nakadilute. Alam niyo yung Soluset? Nakadilute yan sa Soluset. Okay? Never administered IV push, IM, or mamamatay yung pasyente ninyo. Tawag dyan, kasama rin yan doon sa mga binibigay ng mga medications kapag nag-lethal injection tayo. Okay, always dilute, okay, potassium chloride and give it using an infusion device, an infusion pump, or yung Soluset natin. Okay, properly regulated. Delikado yan. Okay, for hyper-K naman, so about 5.0 mEq rather per liter. So there's a condition called the hyperkalemia. So this can occur due to methods of blood specimen collection and cell lysis or destruction. If an increased serum value is obtained in the absence of clinical symptoms, then the specimen should be redrawn and evaluated. Okay, so yan yung mga nag-through and through. So, kaya tumataas yung potassium level because of cellular destruction, particularly CRBC. Okay, causes: excessive potassium intake, overingestion of potassium-containing foods or medication. Mga kanina, sa potassium chloride administration or salt substitute, or a rapid infusion of potassium-containing IV solution, decrease potassium excretion. Okay, in patients with kidney disease, with adrenal insufficiency like Addison's disease. So yan, i-discuss yan next semester. Addison's, Cushing's disease. So, sa endocrine disorders yan. So this can cause hyperkalemia. Movement of potassium from the intracellular fluid to the extracellular fluid, like in patients with tissue damage, acidosis, hyperuricemia. Okay, so monitor the patient closely for signs of potassium imbalance. Potassium imbalance can cause cardiac dysrhythmias that can be life-threatening. Okay, yan yung pwedeng inaatake sa puso. Yan. Okay. Intervention, so monitoring of the said systems of the body, to discontinue the IV potassium, so keep the IV catheter patent, okay, so withdraw oral potassium supplements. Lahat tigil muna. Okay, prepare to administer potassium excreting diuretic, papalitan. Kasi baka mamaya naka-potassium sparing tayo, nasobrahan naman. Eh, hindi na ilabas, so pwedeng mag-hyper-K. If renal function is impaired, prepare to administer sodium polystyrene. Okay, that's the antidote. Sodium polystyrene, okay, sulfonate. So either via oral or the rectal route. So this is a cation exchange resin that promotes gastrointestinal sodium absorption and potassium excretion. This is the function, the action of your aldosterone, the hormone aldosterone. Ano tawag mo dito? It causes sodium absorption and potassium excretion. So, yan siya. So, where sodium is, water will follow. Sodium and water reabsorption, potassium excretion. Tandaan nyo yan, ha? Magpapalit yan si sodium at saka si potassium. Pag pumasok si sodium inside the cell, lalabas si potassium. Okay? So, kapag sobra si, ano tawag mo dito? Kapag sobra si potassium, mataas ang potassium level, kailangan magbibigay tayo ng pang-kontra. So, yan yon. Sodium polystyrene sulfonate, either via oral or the rectal route. Yan. So, para mag-eliminate yung excess potassium. Prepare the client for dialysis if the levels are high. Prepare for administration of IV calcium if hyperkalemia is severe to avert myocardial excitability. Pag sumobra si potassium, sobra yung contraction ng heart muscle. So, pangontra, calcium. Okay? Prepare the IV for IV glucose with regular insulin to move excess potassium into the cells. So this is the rationale, why we give those medications. Oops. Yeah, move excess potassium. Bakit nagbibigay ng hypertonic glucose with regular insulin in order to move the excess potassium into the cells. Ipapasukin, magamit yung potassium kesa nasa blood lang siya. Remember, in hyperkalemia, blood potassium. Okay? So, papapasukin ni insulin ngayon si potassium inside the cell so that it can be used by the cells for the different metabolic activities. Okay? So, yeah. Transfusions are prescribed in a patient with potassium imbalance. The clients should receive fresh whole blood if possible. Okay? Transfusions of stored blood may elevate the potassium level. So fresh blood meaning from the donor to the recipient. Okay? Yan yun. So diretso, hindi pwede yung nasa blood bag na. If possible. So transfusions of stored blood may elevate the potassium level because of the breakdown of other blood cells that causes the release of potassium. Habang tumatagal kasi yung blood sa blood bag, pwedeng magkaroon ng lysis of the red blood cells. And teach the patient to avoid foods that are high in potassium. Nandun sa kabila. Okay, kabilang sa table. Okay. Instruct the client to avoid the use of salt substitutes or other potassium-containing substances. Monitor the serum potassium level closely when the client is receiving a potassium-sparing diuretic, spironolactone. All right. Let's now go to hyponatremia. Actually, kids, etong mga to, hindi sila talaga sakit. They are of the different diseases na meron tayo. Okay, sodium, NAT. Pag nakita nyo NAT at sodium, di ba? Kaya nga ang kanyang chemical symbol is Na. Yan. Normal serum sodium level is 1 liter or millimoles per liter. That's a normal value. Hyponatremia usually are associated with fluid volume imbalances as well. Causes, increased sodium excretion. Anong possible reasons why nagkakaroon na increased excretion? So bumabagsak ang sodium levels. Okay? Excessive diaphoresis or sweating, the use of diuretics, vomiting, diarrhea, wound drainage, especially gastrointestinal drainages, kidney diseases, a decreased secretion of aldosterone. Okay? Ano yung sabi ko sa aldosterone? Sodium and water reabsorption, potassium excretion. Pag kulang si aldosterone, nagkakabaliktad. Potassium absorption, sodium excretion. Inadequate sodium intake. Okay? Fasting. Patients who are fasting. Okay? Patients who are on NPO or on a low salt diet. Yung mga hypertensive patients natin na naka-low salt sodium intake. Dilution of serum sodium, okay, due to excessive ingestion of hypotonic fluids. Okay? So, lalo na, ano yung ulit ng hypotonic fluids? Mas maraming water kesa sa solutes. Okay? Or irrigation with hypotonic fluids. A patient with kidney disease, fresh water drowning. So, yung mga mga nalulunod, okay, sa fresh water. SIADH, okay, syndrome of inappropriate antidiuretic hormone secretion. Kasi yun naman, yung, ano tawag mo rito? Yung mali, wrong statement. Okay, anong nagiging problema? Ulit, kapag sa DI, diabetes insipidus, ihi yung pasyente, kulang sa ADH. Okay, pag SIADH naman, sobra. Okay? So, nare-retain naman yan. Syndrome of inappropriate antidiuretic hormone secretion. Okay? So, nare-retain yung tubig, so nadidilute yung sodium. Okay, what else? Hyperglycemia and heart failure. Okay. Assessment findings. For hyponat, the symptoms may vary with changes in the vascular volume. So the patient can be okay, the patient may manifest with a rapid pulse rate but a normal blood pressure. Pag hypovolemic yung pasyente, there can be weak steady pulse, hypotension, a flat neck veins, normal or low central venous pressure. So parang yung deficit natin kanina. Okay, isotonic dehydration rather. Pansinin nyo, yan yon. Then hypervolemic naman, rapid bounding pulse, blood pressure is normal. So depende sa water level ng pasyente. Okay. For hypernatremia, blood pressure responds to vascular volume status. Depende, again, kung anong type of dehydration meron yung pasyente natin. Respiratory assessment, there's shallow, ineffective respiratory movement is a late manifestation that is related to skeletal muscle weakness. Pulmonary edema, pag hypernatremia. Why? Where sodium is, water will follow. Okay? Absorb din yung water. Neuromuscular, decreased skeletal muscle weakness that is worse in the extremities. Yan. Okay, diminished deep tendon reflexes as well. For hypernap, early manifestation of spontaneous muscle twitches, irregular muscle contractions. Then toward the latter stage, you have skeletal muscle weakness, deep tendon reflexes diminishes or is absent. Okay. CNS pala rather, sorry. There's headache, personality changes, so parang nagkakaroon ng psychosis yung patient. There's confusion, seizures, and coma. Imagine nyo na asin ng problema. Okay, so kailangan madali lang natremia natin. For hypernap, altered cerebral function is the most common. Highlight ko, altered cerebral function is the most common manifestation of hypernatremia. Okay. So, normovolemia or hypovolemia, like agitation, causes agitation, confusion, and seizures. Hypervolemia naman causes lethargy, stupor, and coma. So again, depende naman sa hypernatremia yung magiging CNS effect niya sa patient natin. GI, increased motility and hyperactive bowel sounds for hypernat. Hypernat, extreme thirst. Okay? Tawag dyan, kasi kailangan niya ng pag nagko-concentrate yung sodium levels natin, kailangan niya ng tubig. Okay? Kailangan niya nagkakaroon ng what do you call this? Stimulation of the thirst center. Ano ang trigger nun? Elevated sodium levels in the blood. Okay? So, pag trigger siya, kulang ka sa tubig. Okay? So, kailangan mo uminom extreme thirst. For hyponat, sa left side, extreme increased motility and the hyperactivity of the bowel sounds. There's nausea, abdominal increased urine output. For hyponatremia. Hypernatremia naman is decreased urinary output. Integumentary system, dry mucous membrane for hyponat. Dry and flushed skin, dry and sticky tongue and mucous membrane, presence or absence of edema depending on fluid volume changes. For hypernatremia, parang pag nagsuswimming na tayo ng matagal sa dagat, yan, hypernatremic na tayo, yan yun. So bakit parang nasa dagat ka naman, parang uhaw na uhaw ka, di ba? So because of that, because of the high concentration of sodium doon sa tubig alat, anong tawag mo dyan, yung there's water loss. Okay? So, through the skin. So, yan siya, lumalabas. For sodium, yan na kitatandaan nyo, where sodium is, water will follow. Okay, laboratory findings for hyponat, so serum level is less than 135. So, diluted yung urine. Okay. Serum level for hypernat exceeds 145. So, there's an increase in urine-specific gravity. Concentrated yung wiwi ng pasyente natin. What we have to do, monitor the different systems of the body. If hyponat is accompanied by fluid deficit or hypovolemia, then treat the hypovolemia. Sodium chloride infusions are administered in order to restore sodium content. So isotonic, pwede na. Isotonic solutions like D5, 0.9 sodium chloride, pwede yun. Ipang-replace ng sodium loss. Okay. If hyponat is accompanied by fluid excess, osmotic diuretics will be prescribed. Papaihi. Promote the excretion of water rather than the sodium. Okay? So, again, where water is, okay, sodium will follow. Balikan pala. So, where sodium is, water will follow. Ito naman, pag may hypervolemia, babawasan naman natin yung tubig. Why? Kasi baka diluted lang. Kaya yung blood, normal talaga yung sodium levels. It's just that nare-retain na tubig. Okay? Kaya the specific gravity decreases. So, diluted siya. So, paihiin natin yung pasyente natin. It will give osmotic diuretic. If caused by SIADH, okay? If it is caused by either SIADH or diabetes insipidus, okay, medications that antagonizes the antidiuretic hormone may be administered. Okay? Instruct the client to increase oral sodium intake as prescribed. So you have there the foods that are rich in sodium. Okay, doon sa table natin kanina. If the client is taking lithium, so lithium is an antidepressant, monitor the lithium levels. Hyponatremia can cause diminished lithium excretion, which may result in toxicity. Okay? This is an antidepressant, si lithium natin. Hyponatremia precipitates lithium toxicity in a client that is taking lithium. Okay. For hypernat naman, so more than 145. So again, these are the common food sources for sodium. Yung hindi lang basta asin, okay, bacon. Yan ang pang treat yan sa bacon, di ba? Frankfurters, luncheon meats, butter, cheese, canned foods, mga preserved foods, ketchup, mustard, milk, processed foods, snack foods, mga chichirya natin, soy sauce, table salt, patis, di ba? Sa atin na naman may patis eh, fish sauce. Okay? So, nasobrahan. Okay, baka isinasabaw yung patis or yung toyo. Alright? So, dito na tayo nakaka-encounter ng elevation ng levels. Okay, causes are the following: decreased sodium excretion, use of corticosteroids, patients with Cushing syndrome, with with kidney disease, hyperaldosteronism. Okay. Second, increased sodium intake. So excessive oral sodium ingestion or excessive administration of sodium container na buo na naka-tablet form. Ganun ang itsura niya. Okay? So, baka nasobrahan. Decrease water intake. Ayan. So, the patients who are fasting, naka-NTO. Increase water loss if caused by an increased rate of metabolism. Patients who have fever. Ayan. Kapag nilalagnat, may water loss through evaporation. Hyperventilation, infection, excessive diaphoresis, watery diarrhea, and diabetes insipidus. Again, sa DI, maraming tubig na nawawala. So, hindi lang nagkakaroon ng dehydration because of the water loss, naiipon, naiiwan si sodium, so nag-hypernatremia. Okay. So, ayan siya. Alright, so na-discuss na natin ito. Same here. Okay, what do we have to do? So monitor the body systems. If the cause is inadequate renal excretion of sodium, then prepare to administer diuretics that promotes sodium loss. Okay. If the cause is fluid loss, then give IV or administer IV infusions. Okay. IV fluids. Restrict sodium and fluid intake as prescribed. So all those that we have mentioned, yung mga foods that are rich in sodium, avoid na yon. Okay. Then next is hypocalcemia. Okay, normal calcium level 9 to 10.5 milligrams per deciliter. So below 9 is hypocalcemia. So these are the common food sources that are high in calcium. Alam natin, milk lang, di ba? Marami pa. Cheese, collard greens, kale, milk and soy milk. Yan. So kung ayaw nyo ng gatas, di soy milk, pwede. Rhubarb, sardines. Bakit? Kinakain natin yung buto nun, di ba? So mataas yan sa calcium. Tofu and yogurt. Possible causes. Number 1, inhibition of calcium. Calcium absorption. Kulang. Calcium absorption from the GIT. Kulang yung, mali. Hindi ma-absorb yung calcium from the GIT. Ano ang possible causes nun? Inadequate oral intake of calcium. Kulang naman pala. Walang ma-absorb. Lactose intolerance. So, napupupo ka every time inom ka ng gatas. So, walang calcium na absorb. Malabsorption syndrome such as in celiac fruit or Crohn's disease. We discuss yan. Endo. Inadequate intake of vitamin D. So, natatandaan niyo ba yan? Partners, si vitamin D at saka si calcium. Okay? Vitamin D facilitates the absorption and the deposition of calcium in the bones. And end-stage kidney disease. Mga may chronic renal failure. CKD or ESRD, or end-stage kidney disease or end-stage renal disease. Increased calcium excretion due to a kidney disease. So when the patient is in the polyuric state or phase, and mga phases kasi yan, we discuss yan sa inyo. Steatorrhea is presence of fats in the stool, fat lobules in the stool. Wound drainage, especially GIT in origin. Conditions that decreases ionized action of calcium, like patients with hyperproteinemia, mataas yung protein sa blood, counteracts with the level of calcium. Alkalotic patients, medications such as calcium chelators or binders. Okay? Pag sabing binders, kinakabit nila, ina-attach nila sa kanila yung calcium, so walang ma-absorb, walang free calcium. Acute pancreatitis, hyperphosphatemia, immobility, and removal or destruction of the parathyroid glands. Okay. The parathyroid glands, the PTH, okay? Pag natanggal yan, ano ba yung action ni PTH? It causes calcium, increases the blood calcium level, si PTH. Okay. So, pag nasira si parathyroid glands natin, the most common cause is accidental removal after thyroidectomy. Nawawala yung PTH. So, what happens is that bumabagsak yung calcium levels. So, si PTH draws calcium from the bones papalabas sa blood to maintain the normal calcium level. So, pag nawala si PTH, bumabagsak yung blood calcium. Okay? So, that's what happens in when the parathyroid glands are destroyed. Okay, findings. Okay, assessment findings. So, for hypokalemia muna tayo, ha? Hypokalemia. Okay. Decreased heart rate, mabagal ang heart rate. So, kasi mabagal ang contraction ng heart. Hypotension and a diminished peripheral pulse. Okay. For the respiratory, masyadong affected. Okay. However, in patients with respiratory failure, respiratory arrest can result from a decreased respiratory movement due to muscle tetany or seizure. So, pwedeng maging ano tawag mo rito, detrimental sa respiratory system if the 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 diaphragm or the respiratory muscles are affected. So neuromuscular, this irritable skeletal muscle like manifestations like twitches, cramping, tetany, and seizures.
It's
Tetany
iba
is
yung,
sustained contraction
yan,
ng muscles na
iba yung
hindi
tetanus
pwedeng
ha.
mag-seizure.
Iba yan.
Painful muscle spasm in the calf or foot during periods of inactivity. Pulikat in Tagalog. Okay, nagpupulikat. What else? Paresthesia followed by numbness that may affect the lips, the nose, the ears, in addition to the limbs. Okay, pati tenga, pati lips affected. Positive trochus and Bostek's sign. That's how you pronounce that, Bostek's. Actually, next sem pa ito, crash course lang. How to check for trochus and Bostek's sign. Nahin ko muna yung Bostek's. Okay, the Bostek's sign is elicited, is seen in patients with hypokalemia. Paano i-check yan? So, you tap on the facial nerve. Nasaan yung facial nerve? Dumaraan yan malapit sa may angle of the jaw. Pag tinap nyo doon, likely yung facial nerve magkakos ng muscle twitching. Ipsilateral or the same side where you tapped, where the facial the facial nerve that you have tapped, left or right, doon magkakaroon ng muscle twitching. That's Bostek's sign. Okay? Wherein trochus sign naman is elicited kapag if you inflate the BP cuff. So parang i-BP ninyo, then you let it stay there for a few minutes. Okay? Okay, trochus sign or also called as carpopedal spasm. So this is elicited when what do you call this? When you inflate a sphygmomanometer around the patient's arm, ang nangyayari is nagko-curl yung fingers, okay, yung digits ng pasyente on the arm where the sphygmomanometer is applied. Okay, so that's trochus sign. So you will be discussing that in detail sa hypoparathyroidism. Okay, next semester. What else? Hyperactivity of the deep tendon reflexes, anxiety, and irritability also. Urine output varies depending on the cause of hypokalemia. Increased GI motility, hyperactive bowel sounds, cramping, and diarrhea. Okay, for hypocalcemia. Why? Bakit ba nagda-diarrhea? Kapag hindi na-absorb yung water properly from the stool, nilalabas siya as watery stool. So that is called as diarrhea. Kasi sa colon natin, sa large intestine, dapat marireabsorb yung water eh. So, bago siya umabot dun sa descending colon. Okay, so para pagpupo natin, form yung stool. So siya, na-retain yung tubig. So watery yung stool. So that's diarrhea. Okay? Blood calcium level is less than 9. ECG changes. Ito, importante. Prolonged ST interval and a prolonged QT interval. Okay? So, yung pagitan between the two is prolonged. Okay, let's have hypercalcemia naman on the right side. It causes increased heart rate, okay, in the early phase, and then bradycardia that can lead to cardiac arrest during the late phase. So, una pa natin. But then, habang tumatagal, nagiging brady na siya. Okay? So, which may lead to cardiac arrest also. Sobrang napagod na yung pag-contract ng cardiac muscle. Okay? Increased blood pressure, pounding, and full peripheral pulse. So there's ineffective respiratory movement as a result of profound skeletal muscle weakness. Profound muscle weakness for neuromuscular, so skeletal muscles, not just the respiratory muscles, diminished or absent deep tendon reflexes, disorientation, lethargy, and coma. Okay? Urine output varies, decreased motility, and hypoactive bowel sound. So there can be anorexia, nausea, abdominal distension, and constipation. Serum calcium is above 10.5 milligrams per deciliter. ECG changes shows kung kanina prolonged ito, shortened ST segment and a widened T wave. Okay. Dagdag ko na dyan. So, pag may hyperkalemia, kung ang cause is the dropping out of calcium from the bones in patients with parathyroid disorders. Okay? Ano tawag dyan? What happens to the bones is that the bones becomes brittle. Doon nanggagaling yung calcium kasi. So, humihina yung buto ng pasyente natin. Okay. Ito pala yan. So, test for hypocalcemia. So, that's Bostek sign. And then yung letter B. So, that's the twitching of the facial muscles. Yung letter B, that's carpopedal spasm. So, when you inflate a blood pressure cough. Okay. Above the systolic pressure for few minutes. About 3 minutes yan. Mag-cause na yan. Carpopedal spasm. Intervention. So monitor the 5 systems.